Hey everyone, Delphi Trading Group here with our weekly update, market update, report, whatever you want to call it, that we put out here every week for you guys, kind of looking at the market, seeing what's going on. And as this week's headline says, we are in the middle of one of the biggest 6 week moves in the markets in basically history. Okay, this is like a once in a decade move that we are currently experiencing. And you can see here, we have a chart up here, and shout out to Charlie Biello here on X, who put this together. And this is the S&P from 1950 to now, the largest 6 week rallies. Now, what I'm pointing out here is that this rally that we're having here is not in a bear market. It's not following a bear market. Okay, you see all of these other times ahead of it, above it. Okay, you see 2009, you see 2020 COVID, we see more 2009, 2008 financial crisis, 2025, the most recent one here, last year from Liberation Day. And then some other ones, and before my time, 82. That was also not good markets during that time as well. So all of these other times here, the markets were either in a bear market and it rallied 6 weeks, after a bear market and it rallied 6 weeks. Now here we are, number 11. And there's no bear market. We have not come out of a bear market. This move that we're seeing is unprecedented, and it's strictly on the back of hyperscalers like Google, Meta, all these hyperscalers spending money on AI. It's on the back of space, robotics, things that we have been in for our members since last year. But before I get to that, we're here in our Discord, and I want to point something out because we posted this yesterday here. You can see here that we are in our chat here in the Delphi room in Discord. And yesterday I posted here to be careful, okay? Because if you zoom in on this picture, it's going to be a little blurry, but on this side we have gold, and here we have the NASDAQ 100, okay? This is 3 stages of market psychology, okay? This has nothing to do with earnings, hyperscalers, AI. This has nothing to do with that. This is just basic market psychology here and what usually happens, okay? Very similar to what just happened in gold, if you guys remember. We had stage 1, okay, where gold was going up. Stage 2, the trend was more steeper, okay? And then stage 3 here, gold went vertical. If you guys remember, beginning of the year, I think it was, pure hysteria in gold. It was just went straight up. Well, what happens after stage 3? We saw gold now. This has pulled back a good amount. Okay, it hasn't crashed, and now it's consolidating sideways. Okay, the indexes right now are going through something very similar. Okay, we had stage 1, stage 2, and now look at this vertical move up, stage 3. Okay, so we are expecting, not saying we're going to crash. Would not surprise us if we get a 3 to 5% pullback right now in the markets. Okay, I do not think that sell-off is going to lead to more. We are in a period right now where any kind of pullbacks are going to be bought. Okay, anybody who missed this move down here is waiting to get in. Okay, now whether it drops 3%, 2%, 5%, we believe we're going to see more buying coming in, which may go through until the end of the year. Remember, we have a lot of IPOs coming up. SpaceX IPO, Anthropic, OpenAI. There's going to be pure hysteria when those IPOs are coming out or close to it. or people are want to be getting in the markets. Okay, so I'm not saying this is over by any means, but just be prepared. There are going to be pullbacks. Nothing goes up like that in a straight line. Okay, and you can see here that we put a note out, space stocks going vertical. So, we do offer here at Delphi many other things other than options trading, option flows, charts, crypto trades, long-term crypto. We have a long-term folio channel here, which is strictly for stocks. No, there's some options in there, but it's strictly for long-term stocks, okay? And if you go back into our YouTube channel, we highly recommend you subscribe to this channel to get the alerts that we put out. We put out a video late last year with our 2026 predictions, okay? Two of those predictions that we made, we made a prediction that the markets were going to come back to the moving averages, which the indexes came down to the 20-day moving averages. So that one hit. And we had two other predictions on the theme this year is going to be robotics and space stocks. And those have already taken place. So pretty much our predictions have all hit. Okay, and if we go here, I'm just going to go to Trading View. I'm going to pull up a couple of our long-term positions. I'm not going to give out the whole folio, but just to kind of show you guys, okay, this is Rocket Labs. Okay, this is one of our positions. And you can see this has just gone straight up all year. Okay, again, this is a space stock. And just recently, it's gone up, about, what is that, 30, 40% just in the last couple of days off earnings. Okay, we don't think this move is done by any means. Okay, so Rocket Labs is one that we have in the folio. Okay, Spire, another one that we have is a space satellite stock. Okay, you could see this one just recently here. We entered down here, I believe $9-10 or something, and it's pulling back right now, but we don't think this one's done either on Spire. Okay, so space. Another one is a recent one that we have taken, Intuitive Machines. Okay, this one has already doubled. Okay, we entered down here at $16 and it's already at 32. So this has already gone up 100% in, let's just say, a month since we entered. Okay, another space stock. Okay, if you're looking at robotics, you want to look at the we're not going to give away all our positions here, but you want to look at companies that deal with, the eyes, ears, motion of robotics. Okay, Novanta, this is another one. Okay, you can see this. They had earnings yesterday, absolutely crushed it, and it's up a big amount today, almost 20%. Okay, robotics play. Another one on Semi. Okay, this is another one that's nearly doubled for us too. Okay, look at this, complete vertical. Not too many people realize On Semi has a big weighting in EVs and cars, but that's going to all shift to robotics. And we think people are still not in that. They're late to the game. Okay, but we don't think these moves are done. So robotics, space stocks, shout out to us. That was, in our predictions from late last year. So we put out a lot of amazing content here on YouTube and our X channel. So make sure you follow those and you subscribe and set for alerts. Okay, but again, just be very careful here. Look at AMD. Look at what this has done. Okay, this is not a chart you want to buy. Okay, we're not buying it up here. Okay, if you miss the move, you miss the move. But you do not want to buy a chart like this right now. Okay, if it comes back and fills this gap, maybe go sideways a little bit, maybe you want to enter. But this is not a stock or a chart we want to buy. Okay, another one, Micron. Look at these semi stocks. Okay, again, if you want to buy this up here, go ahead. We're not buying it up here, but this is why we feel like there's going to be a 2, 3, 4, 5% pullback in the indexes, okay? We're going to get to that now for our forecast. But again, any pullbacks, if we do get that, we think our pullbacks are going to be bought, okay? We got the IPOs coming up, which could take us towards the end of the year. Now, begin early next year, could be a different story, okay? So let's go here. We are on Thinkorswim here. Looks like the markets are going to close soon. So you can see here, all our forecasts are left on our charts. Okay, these are all the index forecasts. White are all forecasts that we hit. We have over a 90% hit rate. Some of them we go up and down, and we hit those too. So this is what we do here. The proof is in the pudding. Okay, so what do we have now? Well, we finally have a pivot. Okay, we have a lower high and a lower low. Okay, we have a gap right here, and there's other gaps below too here. Okay, so we have a pivot. Volume is going down. Our favorite indicator, CCI, has a sell signal coming lower. So we are going to go lower for this forecast, down towards this 20-day moving average. Okay, that's where we're going to kind of go, which matches up with this open gap. Okay, the gap may fill, it may not, but that is where we're going to go for our forecast now for next week. Okay, we're going to go towards that 20-day moving average on the SPY. Okay, Qs. Okay, again, you can see all our white forecasts here, right? Well, Qs, our last forecast here did not hit. Okay, it's the only index that did not hit back then. And we turned that one orange. Okay, you can see the ones we hit are white. The ones we don't hit, and there's the closing bell, are orange. So, look, we know there's people on X, on YouTube, that will leave a target up for months. And, if the indexes come do this and they come down, and, 4 or 5 months later, if it hits, they take credit for that. We don't do that here at Delphi because we know for those following, they might be trading these forecasts. And if you practice risk management and the Qs didn't come down, you should have got stopped out if you traded puts. So we don't take credit for targets that hit months later. Again, other people do. We're not going to name names, but we do not here do it at Delphi. And again, we have a pivot here, a higher volume on the pivot. That's bearish. And again, CCI, stochastic, way overbought with sell signals. And again, a gap right down here, which will match the 20-day moving average. Okay, now, we have bounced here. And if this gap fills and we come down to that 20, it doesn't look like much. That's a, 20, 30 point drop. So again, we are going to go lower here on the Qs. We're going to go towards that open gap. Again, that's a pretty big call for us here on that. So we'll have to see. Do the markets, ignore technicals and keep going higher? Or do we establish some kind of normality again in the markets technical-wise, okay? All right, so that's the Qs. IWM. Again, you can see we hit, not only our last two targets, but, going back to March here, all white. Okay, IBM out of all the indexes tends to trade the best technically, which is why we're probably over 95% in our win rate on IWM forecast. But again, we bounced right from that 20-day moving average on the IWM. You could see that it was in danger of falling further, but again, they came in and bought it. So I am still going to go back down. I'm going back down to that 20-day moving average on IWM. If IWM closes below that, it would not surprise me if we head back down to this support level here. Okay, and again, look at the higher volume on that bearish pivot. Okay, so that's the IWM. That is it for this week. Just be very careful if you're buying up here because there could be, a 2, 3, 4% pullback, which in the bigger picture would not really be anything, to be honest with you. So just be very mindful of that. Again, please like, subscribe to the channel. We put out amazing content here. Follow us on X, Delphi Trading GP for group on X at Delphi Trading GP, and get the word out. And also for those who want to join, if you want to get in and check out our long-term portfolio, we are offering a 14-day free trial. Okay, so you get access to all the channels in the Discord. You'll get our trade alerts free for 2 weeks, which has been on fire. And, you can come in, check out the long-term folio, copy it. And, no credit card needed. You can leave whenever you want. So it's really a no-brainer offer if you guys want to come in. Check out the community, the chat room, all the channels we have in the Discord. Again, 14-day free trial. Just, follow the links on our channels, and, it'll take you to where that offer is. All right, so that's it from us again. Hope you guys have a great week. Good luck trading, and we will talk to you again next week. Take care.